how do you get him to a point, right? Because we've talked about it on here, because right now when you hear the exit interviews, it sounds like everybody on the team agrees with your sentiment, like, no, him developing is very, very important to us being a championship level team. How do you balance that I want to see them focus on winning right now along with his development? Can you do both at the same time?
Yeah, you can do both at the same time. I mean, you look at a guy like Scotty Barnes in Toronto. Siakam goes out. They bring him out there. I mean, he developed all season long. By the end of the season, he was arguably their best player.
Yeah.
Had he not went out in that Philadelphia series and got hurt, who knows how that series would have ended up? He missed a couple of games with a bad ankle. So, but here's my thing with Patrick. It's year 3 next year.
Mm-hmm.
It's year 3. The first 2 years, his first year he played really, really good, I thought. Showed you that he can defend, the better players in this league. That's the one thing that he was NBA defensive ready. He reminded me of Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler came in, Taj Gibson. Those guys came in NBA ready defensively. Their offensive game had to catch up, okay? Patrick is NBA defensive ready as well as a 19-year-old. He was out. He had a man's body.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about a teenager with a man's body.
Yeah.
And he came out here guarding the toughest player his rookie year every single night, from LeBron to Giannis. It didn't matter who it was. He guarded them. So defensively, he is on par as a very good defensive player and the ability to be a great two-way player. His offensive game, he showed you flashes that if given confidence, given the ball, let him do something, he can do some things. And my thing with Billy, I thought after that Minnesota game, go back to that Minnesota game, last game of the year, where he had 35, I think, and like 14 boards or something. He understood that it was his team. He understood, like, hey, this is my squad. I'm no one's out here. DeMar, Zach's not here. Vooch is here, but it's my team. And he went out there and played, looked like an all-star caliber player. And that's the mentality. If you're your coaching staff, the other players on this team, that's the mentality. You constantly got to be feeding him. You got to feed that beast in him. Not just give him little bitty snacks. You be feeding him some steak and tell him, we need this. Next year, you should be the third option on this team with Zach and DeMar. You should be that third option. And nights you should be able to carry us.